All right, we are back with our APA Minute, and this is a big one as we talk about the all-evolving situation with the tariffs. This is an update. APA and NFA are joining forces to fight for the fireworks industry. So we are really excited today to talk about what's happening right now. Obviously, it's an evolving situation. So we have some updates. We have some things that we're working on. So I wanted to get right to Julie Heckman. I've got Julie, I've got Stacey Blake, and Michael Ingram here with me today to kind of give that update on what's going on and where we're going with this. So Julie, I'll have you start off.
Sure. Well, since the last time we produced this APA Minute, we announced at that time that President Trump had imposed 10% tariffs on all imports from China, including fireworks. So since then, March 4th, we were hit with another 10%, bringing the tariffs up to a total of 20% for all imports from China. So for the firework industry, this means that the new fee for display fireworks is up to 22.4%. And for consumer fireworks, the duty or the tariff combined is 25.3%. Things have been constantly fluid with the situation, but we're really, really pleased to announce to everyone that the APA and the NFA are fighting this issue together. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Stacey and the NFA for joining forces with us. And I'd like to ask Stacey to just give us a little update on their side of the issue.
I just wanted to thank you guys, one, for inviting me, and the collaboration between the two associations. This is a problem. It's for everybody in the industry. We're a very hyper seasonal business for most of us, and so it's time to take action for our members, for everyone. So the collaboration between the two industries fighting for our members, for the pyro community, is very important to us, and really this battle to get us on an exemption list if possible. And so we just wanted to take time to thank you for that collaboration. And we did meet the NFA. You guys kindly have extended the olive branch back to us, and we're really excited about working together on issues and collaborations. And the NFA, most of the board was in attendance of the APA Winter Conference, and we've been talking and emailing and meeting on Zooms, and we're just really excited about the opportunity to work together.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. I think we're obviously stronger together. Both sides, the APA and the NFA, have been working with lobbyist groups, and now both of our lobbyists are working together, which I think is fantastic. I was reviewing all the people that we've reached out to this morning, and it looks to me like we've reached out to nearly 50 congressmen and senators, as well as several members of the president's cabinet. And I'm proud to say that the APA board and the NFA board, I know, are working their butts off on this situation, all day, every day, 7 days a week. And we are very hopeful that come April 2nd, we're going to see a pathway to some exemptions, and cross our fingers that we're on that list.
Yeah. So can you go back to that slide? I think we wanted to explain that, part of our joint partnership here is that we did develop a joint letter that we have used our lobbyists to get in front of the Trump administration and the transition team. Stacey mentioned NFA happened to already be on the Hill when the first round of tariffs was announced. So they had a jump start on developing some relationships and really getting our issue front and center. And so now we're preparing, utilizing our lobbyists to do the behind the scenes reach, because we don't want to get too much publicity right now. And this is very part of our strategic path. But we will be announcing after the April 2nd news, and we're hoping it's going to be positive news for us. But if not, we will be issuing a call to action to all of industry to help us send a message to the Hill. But right now we have to be very cautious and very calculated in how we do this, because we don't want to tick the administration off, to be blunt. We feel optimistic, but we're going to reassess. And I think, Stacy, Michael, you can certainly add to that.
Yeah, like Julie said, the NFA just had already scheduled to be out in DC, and we happened to be there and meeting with multiple senators' offices, multiple senators, representatives, having dinners, and just talking to them about our industry, and had kind of been a little bit by one of our champions said, hey, this next tariff may happen, but to be honest, we thought we had another month. And then the morning that we left, Steve and I and our lobbyist had done the flyout, we had found out that the additional tariff had started. And so even in DC, the NFA was in constant communication with the APA board and Julie as well. Just on the updates of that, the NFA and the APA have met multiple times on Zoom. And just to let you all know, we do have a short-term project, we've got the long-term range, and then the grassroots effort if we've got to use that. We're ready to take this on after the April 2nd, whether it's us going back to the Hill, our lobbyists are already there working on the ground. So I just want you guys to know we are, like Michael said, we're thinking about this 24/7, working for the industry as a whole together.
There was one question, we discussed right before we jumped on. I don't know if we want to talk about it, but if you have product on the water right now, what that means for you in regards to a tariff. Just, Michael, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, at this point in time, any product that's in transit is going to be hit with the 20% tariff. So for consumer product, that adds up to 25.3%, and for 1.3 display product, that's 22.4%. Again, we are hopeful that we'll get some good news. I believe it's next Wednesday? Is that April 2nd? And that, the chitter chatter, and we're talking to our lobbyists, we're talking to our relationships within the President Trump's inner circle, your congressmen, senators on a daily basis, just trying to get feedback from them. And we do believe that the president and his inner circle are aware of our unique situation. And we know the president loves fireworks. And so we're hopeful that we can get a special exemption. And you're starting to see that now within the past 24 to 48 hours talked about on the news quite a bit. And so, we'll hope for the best. But like Stacy says, we have multiple game plans ready to initiate on a moment's notice.
Yep, we've definitely been proactive in this fight. So we're ready to go no matter which way it goes on April 2nd, and maybe even before. One of the lobbyists said, he'd like to have it could be before April 2nd and up to April 4th, but both associations are ready to go.
Yeah, we're ready and eager. We've been a little bit too eager. We've been told we need to just relax, take a deep breath. But we think something's going to happen very, very soon, and we are optimistic that it will either provide us with a path toward exemption or actually be an exemption itself.
We keep trying to plan another trip and go beat down doors up in DC, but everybody keeps telling us to stay at home. So we think that that's a good sign. Another thing to think about here is that we had a good outcome in 2019. We have an excellent story to tell. Fireworks is one of the commodities that's organic to China. 99% of the production comes out of China. I think, what was it? One of the statistics that we had, and from 2022 to 2023, of the 16,000 plus containers imported into the United States, only 100 containers came from outside of China. And so there's nowhere else for us to go, unfortunately. I think the entire fireworks industry supports the president's initiative to bring manufacturing back to the United States. There's no question about that. But the fireworks industry really doesn't have a clear pathway to do that in the immediate or distant future. And so we have a unique case to be made. And I think that he loves fireworks, and we're hopeful that we'll have a positive outcome.
Yeah, and just other updates, piggybacking that, they're also on the Hill. They're ready for the 250th anniversary. They didn't actually understand the America First, that this could be a detriment, these tariffs, to the celebration next year. They didn't realize the path of bringing in fireworks and shows, and it was good to be able to educate them while on the Hill and how important it is now, even for next year's celebrations.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And I think it was just, how ideal for you all to be there at that perfect moment. So we really appreciate that. But, we want everybody to stay tuned. We are in this, and we are going to fight and fight and fight for the entire industry together. Please reach out to me or to Stacy. We've got our contact information right there on the slide, and we look forward to providing another update very, very soon.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Really quick update. Of course, we'll have more as we get closer to the April 2nd to April 4th timeframe. But again, I'm going to throw this back up there. Make sure if you have any questions, please comment below. You can reach out to the APA and the NFA. Contact information is there. Again, thank you, Stacy, Julie, and Michael for joining me today. And I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.